listeners, welcome for the people, obviously. The screen right now looks a little bit different layouts. My players don't know what it looks like, but I do. Yeah, because one of our players is missing. As you can see, there are only 3 players. Unfortunately, she was delayed, and it's also a late start in the new year because last week we also had to cancel because our other player was delayed. And instead of, skipping 2 sessions in a row, I thought it'd be better if we just do a one-shot, a fun one-shot. Everything that happens inside of this one-shot is canon. I won't say time-wise when this event happened, just to keep my players on edge. So this event could have happened either in the past, the present, or the future. But I will not say which one it is. You can deduce for yourselves which one it may have been. That said, these guys are level 10 characters. And yeah, maybe if I at some point make this into a podcast, just for those listeners, I'm still working on it, I promise. The podcast will come, okay? It just takes a bit of time. You can just quickly introduce yourselves, say your name, say your character's name, so that people know who you are. Starting with, of course, always, Greg.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Greg, and I'll be playing a Warforged named Kingpin.
Next.
I guess I'm next.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Matt. Tonight I'll be playing Sheris. He is a wood elf ranger that likes to play in the snow.
Nice.
I'm Felicia. I'm playing Zion. She is a half-elf blade singing wizard, so she's able to do more than just cast spells.
Yes, very nice. And that is a troop. Oh, I also have to excuse shitty parts of this layout because we kind of just decided like an hour ago that we we're going to do this, so I had to improvise or impromptu put in the names. It looks so cheap, but sometimes we just gotta deal with it. And as for the one shot, for my players and for everyone listening, because my players will also now only know what it's about, they kind of got a brief idea. And as you see in front of you, because I only have one screen for this layout, we can see the world map, the Saphires Plain, as I've described it in the very beginning on session number 1, but this time in nudes, because the one shot is taking place in the country of Hemes, which you can see is right there. I should probably take my pointer out and show you. Hemes, the name also says it, which is a frigid, icy and snowy landscape. If you couldn't tell by the bleach white color. Not as cold as good old Lusterra, but still a pretty dang violent environment. That was a nice rhyme, holy shit. Props to myself. But more prominent aspect of Hemes is that it's also kind of covered in a big storm, a large blizzard that's kind of perpetually blazing around. Hemes itself is separated into 3 different regions, the left one, the middle one, and the right one. The left 2 are controlled by the Holy Legion's Order. However, the right one is still in possession, in quotations, by Storm Genasi. They have held their grounds there, and the reason why is because the storm that rages there has a few special traits, in that divination spells cannot be casted there, so locating anything within that region is basically impossible, and orientation also seems to be a bit skewed once you enter into the storm. So people, for example, who have key mind, who usually always know where north is, they will have that function failed once they enter inside of the storm. It seems like there's some kind of magical means being used to manipulate the way you see it there. In fact, I even have a close-up of themes, which is here, so you can kind of see the more specifics of the country itself. It's gonna take a while to load because it's in a high-res image. It's loading, still loading. It's still loading. God damn. While it's loading, I can continue with my exposition. So the left side of Hemes is called Noridas. It has a capital called Venlor. Not interesting to us. The center part of Hemes, the capital is of course Zelafiel, which is the main station point where one of the prominent Holy Legionist members, to be specific, a cardinal, resides, and all functions of movement politically and religiously that go on inside of Hemes are centered on Zelafiel. There's also a fortress, specifically military fortress, where only Crusader legions are stationed. In Zelafiel, it's a mix between, you know, normal people living and Crusaders. Veldan, however, is a military outpost, which kind of ensures that, if you look closer, the Great Merceria Wall is supplied with enough troops. So as you can see, these little wall icons, these are kind of huge outposts that go up the entire wall of the Great Glacier, and they are supplied with numerous troops to ensure that an invasion from Lucerians is not possible. So it's kind of like a military border to prevent anyone going outside of Lucera, and allowing the Holy Legionnaires to actually go up the Great Glacier, because usually it isn't possible. That's why Veldan is just there to kind of switch out troops, because it's such a harsh environment that you can't stay there for all too long, which is why they usually switch them out in Veldan, and that's also where they train most of the troops. So, what is this one-shot about then? We are going to follow, for the first time, in the footsteps of a few Crusaders. These guys are playing Crusaders, meaning they come from the Holy Order itself. They're religious people, and they have a certain dislike towards people who are considered Virebloods. Tieflings, Genasi, Dragonborn, those kind of stuffs, orcs, you know them. And yeah, the premise of this one shot is that you guys belong to obviously one of the Crusader legions, specifically the 9th one, Turiel, the Angel of Foundation, which is one of the largest Crusaders legion with 5,000 men strong, which is quite a lot. And you belong to a light scout troop. In this environment, scouts are very important. As I said, they're controlling the border, but the border is extremely long. One hex is 25 miles, so they aren't able to keep in close watch of every centimeter of the border, which is why they have scout troops to just ensure, you know, that no one is trying to sneak in. However, your task has been switched a bit. You are stationed on the very rightmost part of the wall and are secured there. You have a double task. You are to ensure that obviously no one comes from Lucera, but at the same time that no one is coming from the right, which is Felanor. This region, the white one, which hasn't been conquered by the Holy Legionnaires, is called Felanor. So since you are at the very closed border and the only land portion where they could technically go over, you are kind of scouting this area predominantly because you are aware these dots are the kind of sussed out location where you believe their outposts are. You also are aware of 2 villages that they have. Although this is just an estimate of where they could be. Like I said, this is like a 25-mile radius, and you cannot pinpoint the exact location. Every invasion attempt that you have tried failed because of the storm. A large group of people just gets confused, and then it's almost impossible to keep information, which is why you've kind of stayed passive for the most part. However, you got new orders because some activity from other scout troops has been kind of a bit suspicious. Especially from the outside of the wall, so not on the Great Glacier itself. A couple of scout troops have mentioned hearing weird siren calling sounds. Some weird sounds that they weren't able to explain. And when they try to kind of look into it, they've never been able to find the source of it. And, you know, it's a bit concerning, but your troop wasn't worried all too much. You are a relatively high scene squad, so you aren't like new recruits or anything. So you're kind of seniors in the space. And then the notice came that one of the scout troops who was sent out, who were kind of more junior members of you, haven't returned. And haven't put any notice back or called back, which then obviously kind of alarmed you that, okay, if a Holy Litany scout troop has been taken out, potentially there's some interference from either Lucera or maybe from the Storm Genasi on the right side. So you as senior members were tasked to kind of investigate this further. Now, since you are scouts, specifically what was said is you are obviously on a reconnaissance mission to kind of find out what the source may be and how or why your troops are gone. The main suspect is that they maybe got too close to one of the outposts and got kidnapped by the Storm Genasi. If that's the case, you should try and free, obviously, your comrades. Or if maybe there's a potential new weapon that is being created, which is always in suspicion, that you try to maybe find out where this weapon is located, and then, if possible, with your means, destroy it. Otherwise, do not engage, just kind of percept is the main brief that you were given by your captain, Ziegler of Heim. Okay? And with that, I would say we're gonna start off that we see a large white space on the bottom floor, and if you look up, also up in the sky, as we now are in the middle of what seems to be like a kind of mid-strength snowstorm. Maybe like winds 30 miles an hour. If you don't, hold your ground, you will definitely feel a push from the wind and risk kind of tipping over. However, we see 3 individuals who are kind of perusing through deep snow, but they seem to be quite accustomed to this environment. Behind them, as they're kind of walking away from a very large, light gray, almost white foundation, it's barely visible from the blizzards that we're currently inside of. It almost seems like it's camouflage, but at the same time, there's no other color that could exist inside of this white, frigid environment, since everything would be covered in snow immediately or iced over. It's so tall, in fact, that you aren't able to see the height. We and the Crusaders know this is a great Mysteria wall, which was terraformed out of the ice that exists here naturally, and goes about 800 meters high and meets the very top of the Great Glacier. There are 3 large elevators that allow troops from the Holy Litanies to get pulled up and put down. There's no other way of going up these walls. There's also no other way to get up these glaciers, which is why the Lucerians have been rather isolated for the last few hundred years, since there was no real way of getting there and no real way for them to get off. And yeah, one of these elevators is currently in the process of being lifted back up. You can see heavy chains, which are also iced over, getting put up. And then disappearing in the distance. Like I said, 3 individuals walking through the snow. It's heavy, it's very tough on your legs. The snow always sinks to maybe to your knee levels. However, you have a quite the good environmentalist with you who is keenly aware of his surroundings and allows you to move at a more faster pace. We see a certain individual. Matt, would you describe your character, please?
You're muted.
Perfect. Good. You missed nothing. Yeah, so this is Sheris, a widow from very far away. But has been with the, I guess, Crusades up here for at least a few years now, adapting to the snow. Let's see. Yeah, white hair, very fit. Carries a very large longbow on his back with a cloak and a hood and all the winter gear that you can imagine. Let's see. He's always just focused on the task. He can spend all day just looking at this vast white barren land and, you know, keep his mind occupied and his allies safe as he finds things in snow that it seems nobody else is able to find most of the time.
Yes, and as you're kind of walking through, you've kind of adapted a bit to this environment. You are usually the head of your team, since you know your way around here the best. The others are kind of, you know, support. In case anything goes wrong, you need heavy duty protection by your side. And talking about heavy duty protection, we see a certain figure who's striding behind you with a somewhat different stride. Greg, if you would like to describe your character.
Yeah, so basically a large warforged, sort of, you know, human proportions. Everything's sort of just normal, but just metal head to toe. On the left shoulder, there's this big sort of overly ornate shoulder pad, or I guess not a pad, but like a big shoulder piece for a suit of armor that's just larger than everything else. It basically commands the entire mechanism of his body. Yeah, he's just very stoic, and just everything about him is just sort of calculated movements. Nothing crazy, you know, obvious about him. He doesn't seem to, you know, he's not giving away too much. And he's got a quiver filled with javelins on his back, and just carrying a couple, you know, a big long sword and an axe across his back as well, just ready to get going.
Nice. And maybe probably not too far next or behind this great imposing figure. And one must say, Warforged are quite rare in this world and are only prominently or specifically only used for war methods by the Holy Legionnaires. They're still kind of in their experimental phase, since arcane technology is limited by the Holy Legionnaires, but they of course are the only ones who predominantly still use and abuse their superior power in controlling most of the arcane technologies. So it is quite a rare sight to see a Warforged inside of this world. But obviously a Warforged is being used in the most harsh of environments where you normally wouldn't put normal human beings out to. So this is where he comes in, or they, I guess. And like I said, probably not too far away, we see another figure. Felicia, if you would be so kind.
So my character's Zion. She's about average height, like kind of like on the shorter side of that. Got long dark brown hair. She's very well bundled up. She doesn't really give a whole lot away with what she's carrying. Mostly kind of everything's kind of hidden behind her cloak. But very much winter type gear. She tends to walk with like her arms in like sleeves. You can't really see her arms. And she's just kind of walking like kind of head down, but yet still paying attention, if that makes sense.
Yes. Very nice. So, in point of order, where you are right now, obviously you just came out of your wall. Sounds a bit weird, but that is the case. So I should put you here, and I should resize your token a bit, just so it doesn't take up everything. Look. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. And make it a bit smaller. Oh, there you go. So, your brief basically was to go to the east and try and find out what happened to your junior troop, and then potentially finding out whether or not they have been captured by this outpost there. So, how you wish to proceed to do this, which methods you would like to use, entirely up to you. So, how would you like to proceed? And you can obviously discuss in character.
Let's take a look at the map here. I assume, obviously, we have a map.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of holding out in the open for everybody to look at. Yeah. Well, we can go the obvious route, or we could take, go off the path so we aren't seen. It'll be a little bit slower, but we're not really in a rush, are we?
I also don't think there's a lot being seen out here anyway. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Going off the path could be dangerous if we tend to lose sight of where we are.
That's fair.
The storm doesn't help line of sight very well.
Sure. Alright, well, let's make it easy for now, and if things get a little, well, I guess if we run into anyone, we can just take cover and see what the heck they're about. Alright, let's go that way. And we'll start heading us east, on the clearest route possible for now.
Okay, yes. So as you're walking, it's the wall is very or the glacial wall. The Mysteria war has already ended from the point you are walking, but the glacial wall is fairly close to the Markal Drove Lake. So it's kind of a, compared to the rest of the environment, tight pass, but it's still like a couple of miles wide, maybe like 3 miles. So it's kind of obvious if anyone would like to go through here, or any large group, it's quite obvious that goes through here, which is one of the reasons why they set out a scout troop and not, an entire division to kind of look for them, because it would be immediately noticeable. So obviously you're trying to, go low-key on the way, but, maybe still rush. One thing you do know is, obviously, in this harsh environment, there are even harsher creatures that makes this place a living space. And they aren't necessarily common, so you don't usually often see it, just because, food is quite scarce, and obviously not many creatures can survive. But, your typical winter wolves and other kind of stuffs, behears and such, do takes this place as a home. So this is just a normal skill challenge, and you can tell me which skills you would like to use that will help you to try and reach your destination.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first. To assume this row has been walked before, I'll just do the very simple thing of looking for previous tracks that people have walked and follow them, as long as they're headed somewhat east.
Okay, then I presume you would like to use perception.
I was thinking survival.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, definitely survival.
And I'm just double checking in case I have anything. I don't think that would be natural explorer, so.
Yes. Yeah. Oof, a 12.
Mm.
Yeah, and just for the others, you should tell me the skill you would like to use and the kind of argument why this specific skill is useful. So I don't like say which skill you like to use. It's you telling me. 12. Kind of a hard start. You know this trail. Haven't been here or down here a lot. Usually you stick to the upper glacier since you're a senior member. In your first few days, you probably spent your time here, but only brief. And as you kind of walk closer, you start getting this weird sense and confusion about where to go. And as soon as it starts, it's immediately obvious that you're kind of now starting to get into the kind of storm-covered terrain of the eastern region, and you can feel your senses like literally putting you off path, and you realize that as maybe like 2 hours into your travel going through this harsh snow, you come across the icy lake, knowing that you've been drifting off a bit to the south, a bit more than you would like to, and you kind of guess that you didn't quite go the way you would like to.
Well, I found us the lake, so we're good there. Someone else have a idea? I think I've lost the tracks unless they're in Fishman.
I wanted to use survival as well. Almost identical to what Matt's character was. I'm sorry, I don't remember its name.
Show us.
Yeah, maybe we should her name so we all know.
Yours literally is just above there.
Oh, well.
Oh.
You can change your on the Roll20 screen if you go to settings, and then on the very top it says display name, which you can change into your character's name. I think that's a bit more helpful because it will stay there permanently, and in chat it will disappear fairly quickly.
So I'm just trying to look for tracks, make sure that we're not like going off and getting lost somewhere.
Yes, you can also do a survival check. $19. Yeah, so after Shera's kind of explains the situation, you kind of take the front here a bit. Maybe you look on the ice. You haven't found any specific tracks yet. You also know tracks usually disappear within minutes just because of the wind and the snow acts here. So you really need keen eyes to maybe see like the slightest dent inside of the snow of where there might have been tracks, but usually there isn't a lot. However, after you kind of found the lake, at least you now have the guideline to kind of follow the ice. It's still a bit difficult since sometimes it's hard to know whether or not it's the ice of the lake or if you're kind of going back inland. The separation there can sometimes be a bit confusing, but you have this guide now which allows you to go further down south. And as you're doing so, you do after a while notice a couple of tracks, or at least disturbance in the snow. Doesn't at first look like your usual tracks of any creature or humanoid that would walk around here, because there's like a large trail that goes from left to right so from north to south. And as you kind of get closer, you notice a kind of somewhat larger icy boulder that is sitting on top of the icy lake, and it almost seems like it kind of rolled for some length. You don't know from where it rolled to. You would have to follow those tracks, but just there seemed to be up in a disturbance where this boulder of ice kind of just moved.
Well, I'll add that to the list for we'll take a look at on the way back here. I think that's the 12th odd thing we've seen this week.
Yeah, I don't really know. Definitely something we should probably keep in mind.
Yeah, could just be someone making a snowman too.
Maybe. I don't know why people would willingly just want to be out in the cold like this, though. Not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get out of here eventually.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
iron.
I guess I will use athletics to as we're moving along. Once we start finding tracks or trails to follow, I'm gonna use my presence, like the body, the shape of my body, as sort of like a shield for the other two as we're going. So the wind hits me, trying to block the snow and ice from hitting them, so they can work easier trying to follow the stuff that they're tracking.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Can make an athletic check for that. 22. And here, usually players always complain to me, oh, I only have athletics, that won't help me. Gotta be creative, boys. You see it here first.
True.
Yeah, you are basically kind of like built for this purpose, actually. You probably have like a kind of a, what's it called? Like a snow shovel form in front of you, which you can just use to kind of push the snow aside. And you also have wide shoulders, and probably also a shield, which, you know, you can brace behind, and the other two can brace behind you. And it does work, and it kind of becomes almost a necessity as you now walk deeper into the kind of perpetuating storm, which is over Velandor. And you can like physically feel the temperature drop even more. It's like maybe like minus 10 degrees Celsius at the bottom part of the wall. But as soon as you get inside of this more wind rushed scape, you can immediately double down, becoming almost like minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is like minus 50 Fahrenheit? No,
it's not.
No, not that crazy. It's 0 or minus 10. Am I crazy? I don't know my Fahrenheit.
14 Fahrenheit.
Okay, I was way off. Holy shit. Yeah, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. It's fucking icy cold. Any sort of liquid that, you know, gets exposed to the air immediately freezes. It's still nothing compared to the icy landscape on top of Lucera, which you all have been, which can easily go to the minus 70 degrees Celsius, which that is, I believe, in minus Fahrenheit. So you are kind of maybe like happy that you are in minus 20, because it's still an upscale from the minus 70 you're usually used to. And you make some good progress. You don't seem to find any more trails. You occasionally still see a few similar tracks of boulders that have seemed to roll from north to south, but kind of becomes less as you progress. And I'm talking large ice boulders, like extremely big, not like your small ones. They're maybe like It is the smallest one you've seen is like 15 feet in diameter, so it was a kind of a large thing that moved, dropped, or fell. Yeah, you made some good progress. You think you're in the right direction, but you still a little bit more to go. So, who would like to do the next?
You still think it's a snowman they're building out here?
I mean, we don't really know what the heck they do up there. I assume it started really small from up top, then rolled down, got bigger, and you know, they throw a couple more down here and they got a snowman. We're dead, man.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say we're dead. I mean, there's
Oh, what
still
if-
hope for us.
We're very much still alive. Well, you are. I'm kind of, you know.
We're surviving. And I will just look kind of at the map again, try to get like a landmark, like, you know, I can see the mountains or like a hill, and I'll try to find it off in the distance so I know we're, you know, going the right way, or just make sure we're still on the right track. So use percept.
Yes. 22. 222's backed. Yeah, you start moving in, and while relying on your visual senses is a bit of a disadvantage inside of this environment, as you know, you literally can't see further than a couple of feet, just because the density of the snowstorm that is raging here. And since you now officially entered into the Velandor storm, it's even more difficult, as you know, snow is constantly blowing inside of your eyes. But you have appropriate gear and wear to be accustomed to this, so it's not too much of a problem. And you also have a big warforge who's kind of shielding you for the most part, successfully even, which allows you to, you know, take your time to look at things. There aren't many environmental features or geographical features here, because it's literally all snow. Anything you would find is white, and anything that is white is hard to see. There aren't any trees here. The only thing that does exist is either the large icy wall, the icy lake, or the mountain structures to the east, but it's probably beyond where you would like to go. However, once again, marching and keeping an eye out, you do start to see certain things, and things you didn't really expect to see, which is reflections. Very odd, as everything here is extremely dull. Not much light passes through. You now start to hear and see the occasional lightning strikes in the distance, and sometimes a bit closer than you would like. Your eardrums kind of ring for a bit, as one probably only struck a couple 100 meters away from you. And as you're walking closer, you may think, oh, it's probably just a lightning strike, and then it kind of flickered off the snow. Snow is very reflective. But it starts to kind of reflect even when there's a lightning very far in the distance, which couldn't have caused it. You know that through the illumination of the lightning, it's kind of refracting some of the light of it. Unnaturally so. Like little bits on the ground, which kind of make up a maybe like a trail or footprints. It just seems like there's like a portion of snow which is very reflective. That is what you find.
Kind of freaky. But luckily, that's not our mission today.
One mission at a time.
Are you absolutely sure that this doesn't involve the mission?
Absolutely not.
I mean, no.
There's nothing on that map that says that this has already been explored.
Yeah, that's true. Do we know the number of people that went missing in that group?
Yeah, it's
like
about
a large number.
No, it's like your scout team. A scout team doesn't have more than 3 people usually. Very rarely more
Okay.
than 3.
And is like I guess the reflected weird snow, is that in the direction we're going?
Yeah, it seems to be in the direction it's going. You don't see like a long trail because, like I said, you can't see very far.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see once we get closer. I'm sure headquarters wants to know.
It's the first thing of significance that we've seen on this trip, whatever you want to call it. I think it's about time that we jump into something here. It's, we're just gonna get lost if we keep going. So now that we found something, we can mark it down on the map. We can say that we found something. Let's go take a look.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Then how do you wish to proceed?
Yeah.
Are we still doing skill checks?
Depends what your next goal is. You can continue just to your normal one, which requires 5 successes. I should have said in the beginning. Or you can start a new one by kind of, putting that aside and then actively trying to follow the footpath. Which, is obviously something different than just finding wherever you are. However, this could potentially also help you in your other task if it is indeed connected.
All right. Well, going off my sort of, trying to get them engaged and going after this one thing, can I use persuasion to, work on the 2 party members and get them moving in a direction?
Sure, yeah. That is a 19 persuasion. Yeah, how do you convince them, I guess?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, now that we found something's popped up, we need to decide on a direction, and I'm gonna start just walking forward, getting out of their range a little bit so that the protection that I was giving them is now lessening, trying to get them to just come on, let's go. I'm creating a path for them through the snow and just we found something, so let's make our way.
Okay, yeah, you continue your stride, and you kind of walk in the vague from direction. The thing is, you don't really directly see the reflective snow. Like, show us, you have to look extremely clearly, and only when a lightning strikes close enough where you can see the light also hit is where you are able to see these footprints. So it's not like, someone deliberately just went here and did it so everyone can see. It just seems to... It's kind of weird. You don't even know what it is. That's the thing. Was it snow or something else? It's just kind of weird.
Right. Yeah, so every time lightning strikes, and I'm following behind Kingpin, I'm like turning him a little bit to the right, then a little bit to the left, Like, yep, this is my big guy. Yeah, I guess we go that way. Let's see.
I'll be real too, the faster we can get out of the lightning, the better a metal object like me is gonna serve. So let's...
Have you been struck before? It might
No,
honestly warm you up.
I don't really want to get struck though. Like, that's...
What if we get like supercharged, like super Kingpin?
You're not wrong, but
We'll have to find this out one day.
I'd rather that happen in a more controlled setting and not just out in the middle of nowhere. So if we just keep going, if it happens, then you're gonna be first to see, right? Lucky you. But
Yeah,
I mean,
good point.
I could technically zap you with lightning if you want to find
No,
out what'll
see,
happen.
that's not what I'm talking about here. It's this stuff that I don't want to have happen.
That's the big boy lightning. All right. I guess I'm gonna try to use nature. And keep track of every time the lightning strikes, so I know when to look for this reflective place. Like I'm actively more watching the weather more than watching where we're going, and trying to, combine the two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I allow it.
Ooh. I think looking at lightning is probably a bad idea now. After I try it.
Yeah, and maybe you're like your headspace is kind of somewhere else, which is you're looking at this lightning, and you're also looking at Kingpin, and you're like, man, it'd be super cool if you could charge up by having one of these lightning bolts hit him. It'd be pretty damn cool. You also know this probably isn't a natural storm, so your usual senses on trying to predict maybe like a lightning strike and see where they strike is very off, because these lightnings don't follow any sort of rule. Yeah, so kind of you try this for a bit and you kind of get lost, and you at some point just lose the trail a bit, so you probably have to backtrack to get where you were before, to try and continue following down this path.
Whoops.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pull out from my quiver of javelins my javelin of lightning, and I'm gonna hold that in both of my hands. I'm gonna just slam it down into the ice and snow down at my feet. I'm just going to start praying, and I'm gonna use religion to help us give us a sign using lightning or any of this sort of elemental power to direct us and help us succeed in this venture.
Well, I will say before, see, holy legions are usually against elemental powers.
Well, I just mean like harnessing sort of
like a divine thing.
Yeah,
Divine
you like.
lightning.
Yeah. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I get. So it's probably more like you're trying to maybe channel some of the divinity that lends you your power to kind of wash away some of these evil elemental forces to allow you to have better access to the environment. It's probably how your guy would think in terms of a holy legion.
That makes sense.
Your idea is pretty cool, though.
I would say this wouldn't be a religion check, since religion is more like intelligence based and kind of thinking about what you know of religion, but I would allow you to make a straight charisma check, since that is your spellcasting modifier and you're trying to forcefully will some divine magical thing. And oof, yeah, you slam your lightning thing there, and I will roll something. Pray that it isn't over a 15. Lucky you. You hear a loud crack of thunder fairly close next to you, about maybe like 50 meters or so, that almost hits you, and the sound is ear deafening. It's probably the humanoids of you have to like close your ears a bit, and you still hear the ringing. And the thing that happens after it, 4 more lightning strikes hits the same spot. And each time a new lightning strike hits, it's much brighter than the last one. So the first one is maybe like a dull purplish color, gets into like a lighter blue, until the last one is a bright white light. And you would know this since you've encountered this several times. You do not want to get hit by the first, and especially do not want to get hit by the last, because that usually is a death sentence.
Thanks for the show, I guess.
I don't know what you just did, but we really should get going. And I just kind of quicken my pace. And as I'm doing this, I'm wanting to use perception to try to find a way to get back on track, because I noticed that we probably went off a little bit.
Yes, you can do that. Alright, 17. Yeah, after the display and kind of semi-warning of the natural surroundings, you decide, okay, maybe having a sharp metallic object in the middle of a storm probably also isn't going to help next to the already large metallic structure. So you kind of go back, and after a while, once again, you start seeing the shimmers again. And from now you can see there are now more. When Cheryl is described, it seems to be maybe like probably like footprints of one individual or thing that was walking here. And now you can see there are definitely a bit more. Probably around, if these are indeed footprints, and that is your best guess right now, is around maybe 3, maybe 2 people or things that were walking a lot, or maybe even 4 that start to kind of gather up a bit.
So I kind of point out what I see in a... I feel like we should probably investigate that. There's becoming more. I don't really want to get ambushed. Like, it's... I mean,
Yeah,
I can't be surprised, but...
Could be the other group too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really want you guys to get lost. How about I just run ahead real quick, take a look, and then we'll meet up halfway. Honestly, I could probably run a lot faster than helping you two through this.
How fast can you run?
I treat snow like it's like dirt. I'm pretty fast.
Yeah, the terrain is considered difficult terrain just because of your ranger friend. It isn't impeding you too much.
And our snowplow in front.
Yeah, and your snowplow.
Look, I'll be right back. Just keep going that way. I'll just run out in front of them toward the tracks and use... I don't know how I could explain acrobatics, so I'll do athletics instead and literally just run.
Okay.
There's a guy who's been running in the winter, and just this is his place. This is his happy spot now.
I would like to say that, yeah, okay, it's a success. The tracks weren't that far away, but I was still allowed.
You got there real fast.
You got a real fast, like a kid in the shopping line. That when your mother says you're gonna get me the rice, I forgot to get rice, and you just dash. Okay, that's a weird tangent I'm going on. Anyways, yeah, you're Mr. Kingpin and Zion. You kind of brace yourselves and kind of continuing the path that Sheras has pointed you. While he runs towards where you pointed out this accumulation of footprints. As you get closer, make a, I guess, investigation checks, since you are checking it out. Or you can either do investigation, or I guess survival would also work in this situation, since...
Can I do survival just to tell what made the tracks specifically, I guess?
Yes.
Oh god, I gotta read through these features quick. I think I have something for that.
Yes. I think you might even get an advantage, right, if it's your favorite enemy.
That's for intellectual checks.
Oh.
So I think it's a straight roll for survival.
Okay. 15. You go there. The first thing that's weird is, like I said, while standing above these tracks, you don't see them. At least not at first. Like I said, it's really almost like it's more akin to something that has changed the surface of the snow to become more glossy, and that's why you can recognize it. And not actually being an imprint or any sort of stuff. So there is no indentation whatsoever from where the tracks are. It's literally the surface of the snow has changed. You kind of bend down, kind of look at it a bit closer. The one thing you do notice is the snow is a bit different. And now that you're so close, the thing that you notice is, as you know, wind is blowing, so you can't even barely see the surface of the snow itself, even when you're standing right next to it. But the one thing you notice, and that's the reason why you could see it in the first place with the refracting light, is there's a slight gap of like a little air bubble, as if like the snow that is passing it is kind of avoiding it a bit. So there's either like an invisible layer or something, or like a little source that is protecting or pushing away any other stuff that could potentially go on it. So it isn't being covered by snow. This kind of layer or glossiness over the snow is being kept free. And that is...
I'm guessing I've never seen this before.
You can make a nature check.
Nature. Now this I would have advantage on if it is fiend or humanoid with dragonborn or tiefling related.
Yes, then you would have advantage. Goddamn, 21. This specifically is not something that is naturally occurring, obviously. This doesn't just happen like this. And you kind of maybe look at it a bit closer, and it seems like almost as if that bit of snow that has been kind of received this glossiness has been frozen in time to not change. To literally not change. That is how it looks like. Anything that's trying to interact with it kind of doesn't, for the purpose of it to not change. And the only thing that you are aware of that usually has this kind of effect on different things is demonic blight, but it's usually a lot different. Usually demonic blight is very obvious and black. You've never seen white demonic blight, and usually it tries to change nature in its way to kind of become more. This, however, is somewhat the opposite, but it's kind of the other side of the coin, where it's completely static and not allowing the environment to change it naturally how it usually would, but instead puts it in a stasis so it can't be changed. Similar to demonic blight, in the sense that demonic blight stays demonic blight and changes nature around it. So this seems like a passive version of demonic blight.
Okay. As the others are getting closer, I'm like on my knees, just like looking at it super close, as it's a pretty weird effect. I'll scale up to them as they get close. Well, I don't think this is our friends. More the other side. They're using some weird stuff to make it cold forever or something. Maybe are they definitely in I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Great. Well, do we follow it, figure it out? This kind of seems important as well. Maybe it has to do with those ice balls. I don't know.
Are the patches of glossy snow about the same size as the balls that we've seen?
No. These look like footprints, literal footprints.
Oh,
And
okay.
I will say, since you did roll a 21 and a 15, these look Like the prints looked like as if someone with humanoid feet made this imprint, but didn't change the surface.
Right.
So it does look like humanoids.
Could be magic boots too. Zion, you wanna? Well, I mean, it just looks like demon weird magic to me. But you know if there's like magic boots they're wearing over there on their side?
Can I roll Arcana to see if I'd be able to determine if they're magical boots or not?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana investigation if you would like to just investigate the imprint more. Depends on how you wish to investigate or search through your memory.
I just kind of want to look at the footprints more, and see if I'm able to determine if it was like a magical means of.
Yeah. Yeah, then you can make an... I guess that would be a bit more investigations then, I would say.
Okay.
19. Yeah, then just kind of quickly describe how you would like to investigate this footprint. Like, what specifically are you doing to kind of investigate it?
So as I'm kind of like looking down on it, I would like put my hand kind of like over it. Kind of like I'm feeling the ground, but I'm not actually like touching it. Just like see if anything like kind of like calls to me in a way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you do that, and if you get like real close without touching it, you do feel this like this little bubble where the influence of the wind and snow of the surrounding isn't affecting that specific area, and does feel a bit weird. And yeah, something just instinctively inside of you says you shouldn't touch it. Probably would be bad. You don't think that this is something that can be replicated with normal magical means as far as you know how magic works. Either this is some super advanced, crazy level chrono magic, so time magic, which freezes this specific top layer portion of the snow in stasis, which would be a very specific and somewhat unnecessary magic spell to do. This doesn't seem natural. Yeah, like I said, it seems more akin to demonic blight, and if you had to pinpoint your origins on any sort of origins, it would probably be that. But the one thing you do notice, and which is a bit more concerning for you as you're investigating this footprint a bit further, is, you know, you Holy Legionnaires usually wear specific kind of greaves or boots. There's specialized, and the ones you wear obviously made for the snow, and you notice fairly quickly as you're analyzing the shape of it and anything else that has the same boot shape as you.
So the people that I'm with, they just kind of hear some like kind of cursing under the breath. And as I stand up, I just kind of do it like a deep sigh. Definitely wouldn't touch that. It's not natural in any way. Very much so along the lines of demon blight. What concerns me is that these boot prints are very similar to our boots.
Seriously. No, that's not a good sign. But we do have a path to follow.
Be on the lookout, and I kind of tap my side, and I At least we won't be ambushed without us knowing, because this can't be surprised.
Yeah, I guess just to get a little reassurance, I'm gonna use what was that called? Primeval awareness. Since we're in the Arctic, I assume it's one of my
Yes.
favorite terrains. So for 6 miles, aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead in 6 miles. I kind of just close my eyes and just let my magic release and kind of just spread it out. And
Yes.
then, almost like sonar, it'll come back and let me know what I feel.
Do you know which type it is, or only that it's one of those types and the number?
Let's see. I believe it's any of those within 6 miles. I don't know if I know specifics, because it doesn't really reveal location or number. So there you go. It's just if they are in there, I know they are there, not their number or location.
Really? When the mirror did it, wasn't it always that you knew the number then?
I mean, on the bomb it says you don't know, so.
Oh. Well then, I think we did it wrong for an entire year.
I think so. Yeah, that number you gave. That number.
Whether the following type.
Well, primal awareness and primeval awareness are two different things.
Well,
So maybe that's what it is?
I presume it's the same because he's also playing a ranger now, and I don't believe it would have changed for the mirrors. Well, it doesn't matter. I will say you do know which ones, since it's worded a bit weird. You can sense whether the following types of creatures are present. So I guess it would give you kind of a hint onto which ones it is.
So let me know what's there, just not where they are. and
Yeah,
the number.
exactly. I think. Yeah. Otherwise, that'd be a bit of
It
a
would- yeah, the
shitty
Wasted
spell.
spell slot almost. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel as you kind of sonar ping out and as it comes back, 4 undead presences and 1 demon presence.
It's not what I was expecting. Then 6 miles. Lovely. So they've probably seen me do this before. After I kind of, take my breath. Whew. Alright. Arms up, everyone. We have undead and demon. I can sense them. And I'll take out my my bow, which is probably the most beautiful and expensive and biggest longbow anybody's ever seen. It has like beautiful vines, and there's also like just jewels all along it that seem to be like embedded in wood. It's no cheap longbow.
Yes. I just realized I told you the number, but we did it for a year, so
Have it.
yeah. So you're level 10, man. Yeah, I will give it to you. Fucking hell, otherwise this spell is shit. But yeah. Please continue.
So, you two ready to go?
Yeah.
Always. Longsword just out into the hand.
Sweet.
Sorry,
Oh.
great sword. It's a great sword.
We could go stealthily. That just means we're gonna go slower. I don't know. Did they give us like a time limit for this mission? Or is it just find these people and then come back?
Yeah, no, you don't usually get time limits since it's really unpredictable how this is gonna turn out. They usually say that don't take longer than a Voss, and so they know
Oh.
you know, to come back so you can
Whether or
inform.
not we disappeared.
Yeah, whether or not you're the second troop who disappeared.
Great.
Yeah, and usually you have at least one guy in the group, guy or girl, that can cast sending, or can in some way means
Sure.
inform the people. Which I presume does one of you have?
What was that?
Sending or some way to communicate back?
I could send an animal if I prepare it.
Yeah, then yeah, that's what you would probably usually do.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't prepare that.
That makes sense for one shot. I guess what time of day is it? And do we usually sleep out in the tundra?
Yeah, usually time of day in this storm impossible to tell. Literally, it doesn't get dark or light once you're
so
inside.
it's just always like this.
Yeah, it's always like this. But you could, from how long you've been traveling and from where you came, you still got that kind of sense. So it's probably around midnight. You've been traveling for quite some time now. You left at probably around 12 in the afternoon, and after maybe you know, another 12 hours of, you know, wandering, which is how long it took to get where you are right now. You presume it's probably middle of the night, so you probably have to rest fairly soonly, otherwise you risk to take a point of exhaustion. And the way you would usually build just a little igloo out of the snow that is here, which is quite easily, like you've done this tons of times, and with the help of the warforged, who basically has hands made out of shovels. It's a quick procedure to do, to just, you know, make it like an underground igloo to be safe from the weather.
Right. Well, how about we keep a quick pace for now? Then once we spot them, we can kind of take our time and see what they're all about. Alright, looks good. I guess I will use. Not much else. Yeah, I guess now that we've found these weird prints, I'll just keep using survival to follow them.
Okay, then give me that survival check. And are you
Is there
guys?
a way I can make it expertise when I roll?
You tell me.
Well, on D&D Beyond, I mean, because
Oh.
they're my favorite.
I don't. Not just out.
Right click on it, it'll give you options, but I don't know if it'll.
Yeah, I also don't know if it gives the option for expertise.
Oh, no, I'm still learning. Next, expertise is for terrain-related stuff. But I do get advantage. Okay,
Okay.
that works too.
Yes.
I should have rolled with advantage.
Man, you really ain't rolling that high. Jesus.
There we go.
16, even with advantage. Jesus. But yeah, it's now that you kind of know where the tracks are and it's a larger group, it's easier to follow. And you said you wanted to, you know, not be too stealthy until you find something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess how, or like kind of where in, or where relative to the tracks are you going? Are you going like on the tracks, or are you going next to the tracks? And how far if you are going next to the tracks?
Probably pretty close. Maybe like even like 5 or 10 feet away, just so we can easily find, or if we ever have to backtrack, we don't have to go that far. For me, it's more about speed right now than anything else.
Okay, then I will allow the other two members of the group to also do something while Sheras is kind of focused on following these tracks.
So given that I have different sort of area capabilities for like my features and stuff, I'm gonna as they're following and paying attention to these tracks, I'm going to make sure that they're never further than 5 feet away from me, so that if anything happens, they're within my aura.
Yes, Okay. Very nice. I will give you that for free because you are a team that's been working closely together for a long time. So that's, I think, a given. But you are focusing on that. Anything from you, Zion?
So I am kind of, as I'm walking, I'm not paying attention so much as to the tracks or anything anymore. After doing that last check, I am kind of in my head a little bit, trying to remember if I've read anything that could explain what I was sensing, and like trying to remember if there's any details about it that could help us.
Yeah, okay, that would be a history check. Okay, that's a 19. 19! I didn't hear the sound, that's why I was kind of looking at the 19 the whole time and waiting for the wall, even though it already came. Yeah, you are trying to look back, suss out anything about this, because this is a very, very odd occurrence. A very, very odd occurrence. The only real bit of information that seems relevant to this is how, and that's a weird part, because since your first suspicion is that it's probably demonic blight, is why it is not spreading. The whole point of demonic blight is trying to get as much demonic blight spread around as possible, because then, you know, more demons can be turned or can be made, and the blight can be spread. And this seems just counterintuitive for demonic blight. Like, why would it be stationary to the point where it's even avoiding its surroundings? And the other thing is, you guys also know that demonic blight spreads faster in cold areas. So the colder something is, the faster demonic blight spreads. You guys know that, which is why this region is extremely dangerous, because if something gets infected by demonic blight, that shit spreads like wildfire. Or ice fire. So these two things are the counter opposite of what you've encountered. Yet still, in some weird way, it is still kinda demonic blight. You feel there has to be a reason why it is stationary, and it probably has something to do with the fact that it's also hard to see. You don't know whether it's like specific to the snowy region or maybe somewhere else. But yeah, it's almost like this is a your best guess is like this is a stealthy demon blight. Is how you would describe it. Like a kind of like a stealthy demon. There's no other way to describe it.
Why is it so stealthy? I'm just kind of like mumbling under my breath as I'm walking. If Kingpin's near me, he might be able to hear me.
Yeah, I presume you all are fairly close together, since, you know,
Yeah.
you are limited.
Yeah. If I mean, I would think to do this anyway, but hearing the little whispers under your breath, I'm going to use one of my divine senses and see if I can get pings on any undead. Knowing that where there are undead out here, I want to see if there's anything hiding.
Okay. How far's the range?
It's 60 feet.
60 feet, and how long does it last?
Yeah, I mean, it says until your next turn,
Oh, so like
but since we're not in combat, it's kind of just like scan the surroundings.
Yep. Okay. Then you can roll me 1d8.
Ooh. 1d8.
Oh, is that good or bad?
That is the
That is
question.
the question.
Okay, so you're traveling, and Sharas is kind of keeping you on pace and on track. And you also hear Zion kind of mumbling around, and then you get the sudden urge to, kind of check the surroundings a bit. How often do you think you would do it? Is it just like a one-time thing, or will you do it like over the course of maybe once every 2 hours because you're still traveling for a long time?
For now, just a one-time thing, just because now that I know that there's potentially undead, and I've also heard Zion mumble under her breath,
Yeah.
I'll use it just the once.
Okay. So you get the sense, you do it, and it kind of radiates out. How does it actually look like when you do it?
So basically, the head of my construct is just going to start to glow a little bit, and it basically just, you'll see like a I mean, almost like what it looks like on a radar screen, that like triangle that kind of spins around the screen.
Yeah.
So that's what you're basically going to start to see, just like a radar swoop around 360.
Yeah, and it's kind of like with a light pointing out to kind of sense. Yeah, you do that. Obviously, the other two become aware that he's doing his divine sense. And as your light kind of sweeps, it kind of illuminates, the foggy area of here a bit. And then, it sweeps once, like a radar, and then it sweeps a second time. And then the second time, you sense and Sharas and Zion, as you're kind of looking around, you can just see in front of you suddenly just 4 silhouettes that get suddenly illuminated that stand in front of you, and you get an immediate ping of undeads, and as your lights kind of glow up a bit, having detected it, illuminating the space, otherwise you wouldn't have seen them in this environment, you just see these kind of husks. They are very dim, they almost fit into the environment, and they have this kind of very ghostly presence to them. Very weird, haven't seen this before. Seem humanoid in nature, and as you're kind of just standing there and detecting this, and your light probably glows a bit brighter, knowing that it has detected something and kind of like informing you, your magical senses kind of operating, you see these weird silhouettes of what were once crusaders kind of standing there, but in a twisted form. Their armor is kind of bleached in a bit, and there where usually their human or maybe elven faces are, is now this kind of blackened, decrepit, horrid face that is just kind of staring blankly at you, back at you. As you can hear this kind of whispering voice going through the wind, and as it does so, you feel a sudden fear strike you, as one of them just kind of slouches down and starts rushing. However, you did detect it them before, so this will bring us to an initiative, because you weren't surprised and one of you can't be surprised. We will just see who is faster in this instance as these individuals.
So with my ability that I can't be surprised,
Yes.
I also get advantage on initiative, so when I rolled that, that's why.
Yes. Don't forget to click your tokens.
When I see tokens, yes.
Should.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Oh, they're there. I had to find them.
Okay, your vision is a bit dimmer, Mr. Warforged, because you don't have.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that is a bad initiative.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
That's really bad.
No way.
That was even with advantage.
and a
Okay,
Kingpin was
somebody goes-
17. Oh,
somebody's
two
up
of
there.
you didn't click the tokens.
I did.
I
didn't I?
did.
Oh, then well, 20 is being a bitch. 10,
Okay.
10, and for my guy, they got an 8. So they're beneath
okay.
you. Okay, so Kingpin. Oh wait, no, I have to do something else. Yes, you are first, I believe. Yes, you are first.
Okay, hang on. I have like a million things I need to read here because I think there something. Hang on. I did not want to go first for this reason.
Nice.
Ooh, we got an ace. Okay. Undead friends, no.
I literally can't see anything. So I'm gonna still try to make sure that I'm within 5 feet of my two companions, and I'm just gonna ready with my greatsword.
Okay, if someone comes close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Then next, it's not Zion, but instead you suddenly see a light of fire emerge from a kind of unoccupied space in front of these creatures as it kind of flies towards you, and as it does so, a figure comes into appearance, as he was seemingly invisible before, but now having I'm stupid, I've put it on a layer, having casted a spell comes into the appearance, and he will cast Firebolt on the 3 of you. Not Firebolt, Fireball on the 3 of you. So you have to make Dex saves.
Ow.
Wait, hang on. Let me 1 second.
Yeah, you got a shit ton of stuff. That you
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
You since you're all within 10 feet of me, you get a +3 to your saving throws.
29. I hope that passes.
You said a dex,
Yes, a Dex.
so +3, so 14.
14. Oh, you lucky, because 14 is the DC to beat. And they were casted at this level. So that's that high level cast didn't do shit. 32. So for those who saved, only take 16, and the one who didn't save, which is Kingpin, you take 32 fire damage. As this fireball erupts right in front of your face. And the figure that has appeared there, while he is humanoid in shape, you can see he looks a bit rotted and definitely has spots of kind of demonic blight covering him all over. And he seems to be more instinctively doing what he's doing, and doesn't look like a wizard or any kind who is like actively casting spells. Seems more like a reaction. And as he's kind of still keeping his hands forward, you just hear this kind of And as he says that, you can see the other 4 figures who are next to him kind of... the bit of humanoid talk that was coming from them kind of dissipates, and they seem to be wanting to rush you. Bring us to Zion.
So, because they just flung a fireball at us and I'm not okay with that, I'm gonna cast Fireball right back at them.
Okay, which level?
At 4th level.
Okay. Then.
Instead of a snowball fight, it's a fireball fight.
It's a fireball fight, it's a storm. You do
I
that.
didn't mean to roll.
He will cast Counterspell because he does have that.
Of course.
But because you are doing level 4, he has to make a check to see whether or not you do it, because he will do it on, what's it called? Level 3, so he has to beat a DC 14. Let's see. Oh, he barely makes it. So he does manage to counter your fireball. As you can see, you try to operate the same. And he lifts his other hand, and you can see this weird kind of black magic come up. That kind of goes into your hands and just immediately dims the light that you were about to cast for your fireball. And the magic just disappears.
Alright. As a bonus action, I'm going to enter Blade Song.
Ooh.
Which grants me a +4 to AC, walking speed increases, and I have advantage on some stuff.
Nice. Okay.
That's a lot. I don't want to, like, read it all.
Yeah. Then that will bring us to showers.
Yep. Yeah, feeling a little bit warmer. Happy. I'll yell out to the other 2. Don't worry, the fiend's mine. And with bow in one hand, I'll point with the other, and out of his chest, I'll use Hunter's Mark. And there's gonna be like a vine that grows around in a circle. And in the middle, there's like a seed. So he's marked, the main dude that threw the fireball.
Yes. Shamaka with this.
Bonus action. Ooh, we gotta get some damage down. So, yeah, let's go all out. I will take my first shot with my beautiful bow with sharpshooter. So that's gonna be a -5 to attack, or plus 10 damage if I hit.
Yep.
And I will aim for that mark I made on his chest.
Yes, that will definitely hit. Is that with the minus?
Um,
No, it isn't. So it is 13, which still hits. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
it's fine. Can I make it roll -5? I don't know. Wait a second. Did I roll a 4? I did. Okay, that's fine. I rolled a 4. That's fine. I have one more shot. I'll do the same thing. Sharpshooter.
Yep.
The 2 rapid shots.
Holy shit.
29 is probably better.
Yes. Jesus Christ, a 33. Holy.
It was the fire. I think my glove was on fire when I did the first one.
Yeah.
So 13. Oh, it does the colossal thing. Perfect. And then Hunter's Mark 2. Where roll that? It's on here. Yeah. So I guess 15 plus 10.
25.
25 damage. So I hit right in the mark.
You can see him exhale, and as he exhales, you can see this weird black dust, so more demonic blight accustomed thing that you're used to kind of escaping from his mouth, and then you can see it kind of just dissipate, but try to tether it back to the main body again, but definitely pierced and made the damage. And
okay.
yeah. Anything else? Movement.
I will just start running in the snow, keeping low, and just drawing 2 more arrows.
Okay. Yes, you can't forget that those who are restrained by difficult terrain, this is difficult terrain because it's deep snow. You know what? No. You're crusaders. You probably have like specially custom boots that make you normally. So yeah, no, you're fine. I decided it on the go. However, these guys, and you can see now that they look a bit spectral, your friends. In the sense that where they are standing don't seem to be disturbing the snow at all. So as this guy is starting to rush, we'll use... Oh, no, probably doesn't have to even use that. He will go 30 feet here, because he's walking through the snow, but he isn't touching the snow at all. However, every time he goes onto the snow itself, it seems like he leaves behind these weird traces of where the snow then becomes glossy. He will go there, and he will make a range attack against Kingpin. You know what? I will put some ore into position. We'll go there. This guy will go there, and he will go there. I would say the first one. I should color code them. The red, blue, green, and orange. The red one will try to attack you, Sheras, since you are the one running away. And see, a 25. Holy shit. Well, pretty dang good. Well, give you 7 necrotic damage, and a second one will also come flying your way with a 20. Unless you can do anything, you're level 10, I don't know, to prevent these attacks from happening. Sheras?
Oh, no, I can't.
Okay. Then you take 14 points of necrotic damage as they lift, and you can see this is one of your mates, probably also a ranger, but instead of going for his bow or something, it seems like his movement is being kind of puppeteered or something like that. As instead of like knocking out, just kind of this weird black smoke just kind of escapes from his hands and strikes you twice. Probably weren't able to dodge as good as you were kind of turning your back a bit. Then I would say one attack will, you know what, I would say 2 attacks will come for you, Kingpin, since you look like you are ready to strike. So the first one is a 9, will definitely miss. Second one is a 16, which I think also misses. And
Yep,
then
misses.
from the second guy, he will also try to attack you twice. So 22, I believe that hits. And the second attack is 17, I think also misses.
No, that just hits.
Oh, okay. Then you take... Ooh, that's a big hit. 18 points of necrotic damage as these necrotic blasts kind of hit you. And then the last one will try and attack you, Scion. With a 17, I believe that hits.
It does not, because a Blade Song gave me a +4, which makes the AC a 19.
Nice. Okay, then the second was a 24, does hit, making this 5 necrotic damage as you kind of dodge it
So
a
that
bit.
you said it was, what was the, you said 24?
Yes, 24.
Let me double check what my reaction... I'm gonna use my reaction to cast shield to give myself another +5, which would make it miss.
It would make it a 24. It still makes it, breaks it, so he
wouldn't
would still hit, unfortunately.
Okay, then never mind. I won't cast it. It'll still hit.
Yes, okay. So, but only 5 necrotic damage, so it kind of just blazes by the side, not doing as much as your comrade. Bring us now to Kingpin, as you see these figures, former friends, former students even, kind of running towards you. What would you like to do?
Okay, first of all, I wasn't looking at the map when Sheras ran away. Which direction did he run in?
Left. Just directly left.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my god. Oh, luckily I switched them. The viewers can't see shit. No, just continue. I can fix this very quickly.
Okay, so as a bonus action, I am going to cast. Shit, where did it go? I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Very nice.
So that's a +2 to AC for up to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to move as far as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
And is that Cheris right there? Yeah.
Yep, you ran right behind.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna. That's it. I'll just I'll ready my greatsword for anything that comes at me.
Okay. Then.
It's fun not seeing the battlefield.
Yeah, that's how the viewers are currently seeing shit. I will have to change a few things.
Oh, I need to make a concentration check. I can only make 2.
Oh yeah.
Hunter's Mark is concentration. Made the first one.
Okay, I will
Just
have
grab
to.
it.
How did I used to do it? Can't I choose? Oh, this is a bit annoying. I'm sorry. Why can't they not see? Please. Or maybe I'm too zoomed out. Yeah, I'm too zoomed. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. No, I'm too zoomed in. I mean. Okay, here's the action. Settings. I think. Why is it only? Okay, doesn't matter. It's good enough for now. Bring us to this guy. He will do you know what? He will see you, Sheras, having buried an arrow inside of him, having his arm still kind of in front of him, both of them. Will turn one and point his finger at you, and you can see these black tendrils wrapping around the finger. And you can just feel the necrosis from the back of your head. As your life is being sucked out, you have to make, I believe, a Constitution saving throw as he casts Blight into you.
Ooh, what do I get from you?
+3.
Kingpin? 3? Maybe...
So
Oh.
that's 3 to all saving throws, yeah.
Oh. The 14 +3 is a 17.
Oh, no. So the first 2 were for Hunter's Mark when it
Oh.
did damage.
16 even.
Yep.
Then
16 plus 3.
yes, 19 definitely save. However, you still will take the half of 38. Luckily not the full, which is 17.
19?
Oh yeah, I thought that was yeah. 19
Ooh,
points of necrotic damage. As you can see your back slowly.
Concentration check. No more Hunter's Mark. Love it.
Okay.
Yikes! Okay, that hurt.
Save himself from that, and he will stay where he is. Zion, what is it you would like to do?
So I can't see anything. Like my screen's like.
Yeah,
black, so I don't
okay, yeah.
know where-
Yep, wait, I know what I did. Now you should see again.
Oh, yep. There we go.
Yes, now I also
There
fixed it
we
for
go.
this. Okay, yeah, now the viewers can also see everything. Very nice. I saved myself there. Luckily I noticed it.
Let's see. So I'm going to cast Witch's Bolt at 3rd level at Mr. Magic User.
At the magic user, the guy in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, then I always feel like a dick when doing this, but he will counter spell it once again.
Yep, had a feeling.
Since level 3 was level 3, it doesn't have to make a check. So it just once again this dark energy erupting from and kind of just diminishes your spell to the point where you can't even cast it.
And then let's see. I get 2 attacks. So oh wait, no I don't, because it wasn't a cantrip, never mind.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm going to go we're gonna just move back.
Okay, very nice. Bring us to showers.
Ooh, I want to do not. Gosh, I was gonna do the big guy, but we're not really racking up a whole lot of damage here.
Ooh, wait. For Blight, you would have had to move closer. I just realized, so you would probably be around here. Wait, no, I think you couldn't even cast it then, since you were too far away. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I thought Blight had a 60-foot range. It's my bad. So even if he moved, he wouldn't have been able to cast it. So I'm gonna take that back.
Yay.
So you can add 19 to your thing again, and he would have instead... You know what? It's my bad, so he just fucked up. You know what? He will just do one normal attack against you. With a natural 1! Okay, anyone wanna roll a 20 to see what happens?
Feel
He's
like,
lucky. I mean, I'll do it.
I was
Doesn't
saying
matter
that
to
it
me.
was against you.
Yeah, it's against you. 11. This doesn't make any sense, but I still think it's funny. You lose confidence, disadvantage on attack rolls until you score a hit again.
Okay.
I would, yeah, he will have disadvantage until he attacks again. It's probably not he loses his confidence, but probably some magical tether
Poor guy.
inside of him must have been kind of cut. So his magical capabilities aren't as good anymore. Okay, so you regained 19 points.
And it's love Hunter's Mark, which is I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, since I still have it on him, I need to take some shots. I can't see too well. So 5, 10, 15, probably one more. Oh, he's way back there. 20, 25. What in the world? Did he move back?
Did he? I probably put him in the wrong spot. So maybe he was
Yeah, I
there.
thought it was a little bit closer. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take my 2 shots.
Yes.
Both sharpshooter, 'cause that's just what I'm gonna do. We need damage desperately. So for shots. Oh my god, my rolls.
Oh.
-5, I would have
Yeah.
been 12.
Yeah,
Wow.
22
22 minus 5, 17.
no. Yes, that hits.
Perfect. So 31 plus. I gotta keep Hunter's Mark, like, queued up or something here. Spells, Hunter's Mark. Oh wow.
Ooh.
Plus 6, so 37.
37, that is a
Right
bomb
in the chest.
hit once again. Kind of probably piercing through his whole chest and going through the other side with the vines attached to it, opening its hole even larger. You can see once again this big poof of black fog escaping from him. And this time even less being able to tether back to his corporeal form, and he's kind of, you know, shaking a little bit. Definitely have done some massive damage here, but he's still standing.
Next time I'll hit you twice. and then I'll just try to move back toward Kingpin as much as I could.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Yeah.
Then we shall come to these guys. Now being able to come close enough, he will try and engage in close combat with Kingpin.
Oh, you had a ready to action, right?
Yeah, I was the whole time I've been readying my greatsword, right?
That only lasts for 1 round. Did you use the action last round?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so
Because I used my bonus action to cast
Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith, and then I did.
Are you
I
ready?
just moved
Okay,
and
very nice. Then yes, you can strike him as he comes closer, and you can somewhat see what was once a junior of yours, but his face has been distorted almost beyond recognition. A 12. Wait, it might hit. It doesn't, unfortunately. Where you have multi-attack, you can attack the second time.
Oh, I can do that on a reaction
yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Prepare reaction is our action. 16 does it.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
Nice. Do you already have improved Divine Smite, maybe? I don't know which level you get it.
No.
Okay. Do you wish to use Divine Smite?
I have no idea what it is, but if you're telling me I can...
Oh, that's the one
melee.
thing Paladins do, bro.
Well, no. I know of it. I haven't read it. There's a million things I have to read. And when you can expend 1 spell slot... Yes, of course I am.
Okay, then you expend 1 spell slot, then you can add 2d8. Sheesh! Damn, that's a big roll. How much is that? That's 17 plus 15. Oh, at which level would you have done it? At level 1, 2, or 3? If you know.
There's levels? God.
Yeah, if you use 1 level higher, then you get 1d8 extra damage.
Expend less slots. No, yeah, I just used the first level.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's undead, I think there's another D8 on top of it too.
If it's what?
Against undead, plus 1d8 against undead and fiends.
Oh, yeah, then you get a free 1d8.
Dang,
Jesus
Paladins
Christ,
are
man.
brutal.
Holy shit. Yeah, that fucking one-shots him as you just kind of brings this heavenly sword down. I mean, you can describe it to me how you kind of vindicate and maybe perjurize your junior.
Yeah, so literally it's coming out of the dark to me. So I kind of had a sense of where Sheris was running to, so I assume that's almost the direction of where these things are. And when I see Sheris come back into my view, this thing then appeared after, and so I had my eyes sort of swivel towards that direction already, and just like straight across whatever throat, chest area, just straight through, just cleaving across.
Yes. And with a thunderous smite of divine energy, he gets perjurized. And as you do so and you cleave him, you're going to see the light coming from your divine energy just kind of completely dissipates this form, and he literally disappears. The smoke vanishing inside of the storm. However, that was the first one. Second one does manage to get up to you, and I would say they won't be able to. So I would say he will go here, and he will actually cast Fear on you.
Oh.
So you have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. We went too far.
And the spell save DC is a 13. Wow!
That's
You
20.
come here, you can see there's probably like a female, also probably wood elf who kind of joined. this, maybe under recommendation from you. You can see that the face distorts a bit and you maybe feel a bit of sadness, but this gives you more reason to alleviate her from her current position, and you just get motivated more to put out of her misery. So the fear doesn't strike you, but strike a different sense in your heart, kind of wasting the turn. The other one, however, will try and kind of latch onto you, try to touch you, and with a 24, they will successfully do so, draining some of your life, making or forcing you to make a Constitution saving throw twice, because one time for your spell and one time for his.
Yep. So yeah, that's for life drain.
Okay, that's unfortunately fail.
Oh, but I keep Hunter's Mark, so sure.
So your hit point maximum is reduced by 12.
Oh. Max HP override.
Yes, as he kind of sticks itself towards you, and as he touches you, you can suddenly see this black blight kind of slowly starting to crawl over your body. The other one will bonus action Misty Step 30 feet in front, walk to you as he kind of disappears for a brief moment and then reappears in front of you, Zion, and then tries to attempt to do the same and grab you with a 10, which will miss.
That's gonna miss.
So he kind of tries to hack you too. You can see his kind of ghostly arms grab towards you, but you just step to the side and he goes nowhere. Bring us to Kingpin. Can feel the pressure.
You probably ready to go.
You're just within my vision now, so I just want to double check. Does flanking work on the diagonal, or is it just
Yeah, no, it's always,
horizontal?
as long as you're opposite, it works.
So I can be here and get flanking?
Yes.
Great. So I'm gonna move there, and I'm going to take an attack with my greatsword on this thing that's attacking Sheris.
Very nice, very nice.
Actions. Hit. Advantage. Roll. Roll. I don't know what's happening. It's just rolling in D&D Beyond.
Oh, then just roll normally. Sometimes video advantage doesn't.
No, I don't know why it doesn't. Okay, so roll number 1.
17, and maybe it's an extra 20. Okay, 21 hits. And do you want to do Divine Smite, or is have to?
Yeah, we'll do another Divine Smite.
Okay, let's see if this is another one shot. Ha! Because you're playing a one shot. Yeah, I'm.
Find Divine Smite again. There's so many things.
Yeah, especially as a paladin, you have a shit ton of things. Okay, and another
And then
D8.
Extra, yeah.
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 Oh, unfortunately not as strong as the last one, but still strong. 18, 20, 32. Unfortunately not enough to one-shot him, but definitely a big hit, kind of severing him in half, but you see the upper portion still kind of floating there. Now you still have multi-attack.
I do, so I'm gonna go again. Everything just back the other direction.
Yep.
Scroll back up.
Yes, definitely. Like, you don't have to
Hang
roll
on.
damage, you would definitely kill this dude.
Oh, okay.
As
Done deal.
dissipates. Probably feel a bit of relief showers as you can see your trusted Warforged friend doing what the Warforged can do best, and that is kill your enemies. However, there is still the other one. Unless you still want to do anything.
There's probably something else I can do, but it's too overwhelming right now. Go ahead.
Okay. He will now step closer a bit, so he can be in range. And this time he will cast This time we will cast Blight on Mr. Kingpin. So you will have to make a Constitution saving throw this time. Otherwise, you know what? He will even do it on level 5.
If he's
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to do it right now, but because I have counterspell, can I use it when they're casting a spell at my friends?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You can use it right now if you want. If you're within 60. Yeah, you're within 60.
Yeah, I'll cast counterspell.
Okay. Which level do you want to cast it at?
At 3rd level, because that's when it's...
Okay. Then, what's your spellcasting modifier? Intelligence.
It's plus... My modifier is +4.
Yeah, but which stat is it?
Oh, intelligence.
Then you have to make a intelligence check, and you have to beat the DC of 15 because he casted Blight at level 5 to try and counterspell it. Yes, that's more than enough. Pog! That's a Twitch reference. And you see him now try to cast his evil black magic, and this time you just counterspell it. Oh, how does your counterspell look like? Why do I describe it? You can describe it. How do you make him fail?
So I kind of stick my hand out of my sleeve, and you see like this wand, and it's just a bright white light that comes out, and kind of like it has like a spiral looking to it.
Okay.
And it hits him, and as it hits him, I kind of laugh.
Okay. You laugh after
Like Harry Potter style, where like the two wands connect and they're battling for dominance, and mine just wins.
Okay. With the light winning, he will then, kind of step back once he did that, having failed what he wanted to do. Now it's your turn. Still the dude in front of you. He's trying to hack you.
Yes. So I'm going to swipe at him with my rapier.
A 14 will unfortunately not hit.
Alright. Has the guy in...
Oh, wait, do you get a bonus for your blade sing stuff? Do you get a plus, maybe?
That's what I'm looking at. No, it just gives me bonus to AC and extra speed.
Okay.
And better concentration. Alright, well then, as my second attack, I am going to cast Firebolt.
Oh. So it's just like with Veltari, you can only either do double attack with a rapier, only weapon attacks.
So with Blade Sing, it actually says you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Moreover, you can cast one of your cantrips in place of one of those attacks.
Oh, okay, then I take it back. However, you still will get disadvantage because you are engaged in melee combat with someone else.
That's fine.
Okay. Man, that's dope. I didn't know there was even a feature that could do that. That's with disadvantage? Holy shit.
Mm.
Yeah, that definitely hits. And I presume you want to hit the guy at back?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage. 13. Hold on, real quick. He probably... No, he ain't. Huh. What a noob. As he gets blasted with fire. You see more and more of these black mist that shrouds him, disappearing and kind of now slowly pooling off of him. But he's still standing. Anything else?
That is all I am going to do.
Then we will come to showers. As you see, the dude who was in front of you just got fucking pulverized of a good friend.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, here's that range. Yeah, I said deliver 2 arrows to this guy, so I will. Again, just double arrow to the ivy mark I put in his chest.
Yes.
Maybe I'll hit both this time. That'd be cool. First one. Yeah, obviously, same thing as before. with
Yes,
the
yes. Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. Yep, so that's 20.
Yes. 20 technically hits.
So that's 20. Oh, it's only 23.
23.
Okay.
He will use his reaction to do 23. He's
Ow.
quite a bit.
Okay.
So we'll do that. In fact, he will do it at wing level 4. So it's also available. So you have to make, I think, a dex save for this. You'll see. Yeah. Otherwise, you take
Dex
25. 5 damage.
That's looking
Ouch.
good at. Am I close enough to you, Kingpin?
Oh
I'll
wait,
take the-
hold on. I've checked if he's in range even to do that. Oh,
I think
maybe
it's
30 feet.
45.
Oh, it's 60 feet. Okay, maybe I thought maybe it would be 30. So that's right.
Yeah, dex save.
Just think you should be fine.
Seven.
And yeah, fine. You only take 12. Yes, only 12 fire damage instead of 25.
Okay, Hunter's mark. I do. That doesn't want to fall off. Perfect. Second shot then. I got one more.
Yes.
Oh, same as before.
Yep.
20. 25. So many buttons. So 26 for that shot.
So your hunter's mark, you can only do it on one of the damages. If you have 2 attacks, it only works on one of them.
Really?
Really? I think every
Yeah.
time you make an attack roll, because I thought I said the same to Nemira.
Because I play a ranger in one of my other campaigns. I mean, I might be wrong if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
I know Colossus Slayer is actually once per
Once.
turn.
Yeah,
So you can
maybe
actually
that's
take
what it
4
is.
back.
I'm,
I think Hunter's Mark is every attack. Though.
yeah. Till the spell ends, you do
that's
extra
fine.
1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit with a weapon attack, and you have, whenever you
Okay,
hit.
so I
with
was just reading the next step.
Yeah. No, I think you're getting mixed up. Yeah, with probably Colossal Slayer. However, that will still be enough damage to kill the guy, even it's still
Yes.
overkill. How do you like?
Perfect.
How would you like to do so?
Let's see. So I hit 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. That's too bad. One more, I can make a smiley face. 2, 3. What can I make with this? I'm trying to think. I'll just make a square in the circle. So there's a circle of ivy. I hit 4, so there's a square in it. And then the vines just start growing around his body and just like shriveling him up. Like they've begun growing from the damage.
Yes, and as you do so, you can see the smoke is kind of fighting to stay in a solid form, but loses its strength as all of this, his kind of corporeal parts just kind of get shredded by your vines. And as it does so, you can see the other ghostly figures kind of also, their tether also starts to just disappear. And as they vanish into mist, and anything that was there kind of also disappears, and they disappear completely, including the one guy just vanish into nothingness, and you are left inside of this frigid, icy landscape.
Is it over?
I could check, but I think that's usually over when they disappear. I guess kind of just look around and see if there's any oddities in the snow or area around us.
Yeah, you can either make a survival investigation check if you'd like to.
Like the
I'll help you
media
with
area,
that
just to
double
double check.
Yes. Zion, what did you say, Zion?
Oh, I said I was gonna help him with the survival check.
Okay, you can. Okay. And Kingpin, anything you would like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds and heal myself.
Okay.
Oh, that's important.
I'll cast it at 2nd level.
Yes. Yeah. You investigate the area. The footprints are still there. They have disappeared, but the footprints are still there. And kind of giving a quick sweep of the surrounding area, it seems like it still continues further beyond. So it wasn't like they came from where you first saw these and then just were marching there the first time. There's probably a trail that they've been walking for probably more than once. You notice that there are more foot trails, indicating even that there are either more of these, or it has been a trail that they have walked more than once, which seems to be probably more likely the case. Yeah. It's...
But we recognized that group, like they were the ones we were sent to look for.
Yeah, they were definitely the ones you were sent to look for, but it's still, like, goes without saying that it is...
There's a mystery here. Yeah.
Yeah, not just that, but like who was kind of responsible for it, since this seems almost a bit planned, but it's a demon, and a planned demon doesn't usually correlate very well. However, you also get the sense that the guy, the caster, was probably a someone who was turned into a demon, so who got inflicted by demon blight, and then retained some of his corporeal features, which is why he was able to cast normal things, like firewood and such.
Oh, before I forget, everybody group up. I'm just gonna do a blight check on everyone, including myself.
Okay. Yeah, you look around, and it doesn't seem so that anyone has been infected. Who? Me? Or is Felicia getting cut out? I think she just cut out.
Oh, I think she froze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, she's back. Hello? Hello? Can you hear us? Felicia?
Hello?
That's weird. Can you hear us, Felicia?
Alicia, we're talking to you. Can you hear us?
She's lagging in real life.
God dang. I presume...
Oh.
Oh my... No, my entire thing.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Hello. Okay.
You can hear us, right?
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know what happened. Discord just decided it was done for a second.
Yeah, that happens.
The last thing I heard was I'm gonna do a blight check on everybody, and then you all froze.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, real life blight. But no, it doesn't seem like you have been inflicted.
That's good. Oh, well, we should camp and then figure this out tomorrow. That's my plan.
You want to camp right here where we just got attacked? If they come back, they know where we're gonna be.
Or they think that we're going somewhere else.
I mean, I'll camp forever. It doesn't matter to me.
It's
Mark.
not like we're gonna find a big building out here, so
How about we go like 100 feet away? build a lovely snow dome that's hidden in the snow, and at least one of us can keep an eye out. But we'll make it nice and hidden.
Good as anything.
Okay. You can definitely do that, and I won't make you do a check because you are expert in this and you've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. So you just kind of go 100 feet away, and Kingpin, you just shovel a bit of snow, and Showers, you just kind of form it into icy blocks with which you can do it like a semi-structure, but you kind of more dig a tunnel down because that's less effort, because then you just have to kind of hollow out the area instead of having to manually build an igloo, which also would be a bit more obvious if an igloo is standing outside. So yeah, you do that, and you can rest for the night. Is there anything specific you would like to do? Would some of you like to hold watch?
Oh, I want to I want to make a very small snowman where we fought. Just in case if somebody comes along, then they stop at the snowman, maybe they kick it over, maybe I don't know.
Okay.
Just want to know if anything happens to it. So I go run out there quick, make it like an ice snowman, smiley face. I take like a piece of wood from like my backpack and make like a face and everything and arms, and I run back.
Nice. Snowman successfully completed and done. Anything else you would like to do? Okay. Then you all kind of hunker down inside of your makeshift little cozy underground igloo. Take us back on the normal map. And the hours go by. It's not the most uncomfortable, but also not the most comfortable. You are now around here, since you've traveled quite a bit. 8 hours go by. You all rest as much as you need. 4 hours for the elf in the group. Oh, well, okay, since you only do half, what would you do once, your kind of meditation stops, Sheras, since you have kind of 4 hours to
Oh gosh, yeah.
kill?
Oh man, what can you
Make
do
more
in a frozen
snowmans.
wasteland?
Snow family.
Still family.
I have a feeling arrows are gonna be hard to come by. So I probably have like scraps of wood and like broken arrows. I probably got my arrows from whatever sludge pit that guy left. I probably spent most of my time just repairing those and not much else. So I'm guessing hunting games gonna be too difficult to do easily. Let's see. What else can you do? You can read. I probably have a diary. There you go. I keep a diary of my adventures through the frozen waste.
Okay. Yeah. You can make me just a straight wisdom check since you are a spellcaster. That is your spellcasting modifier. As you kind of wake up, you prep a few things and you start writing in your diary. At a certain point, you wake up again and you realize for some reason you fell unconscious, but you got no idea why or memory how it happened. Almost like, some people who just have extremely low blood pressure just lose their consciousness somehow. But you don't understand the reasoning, and you just kind of wake up as the other two members of your group also start to wake up, and you just kind of lost 4 hours, seemingly out of nowhere.
Okay. How do you check if you're even awake? I'll take like a dagger and just make sure I'm even awake and just like poke my hand, see if there's like a drop of blood that comes out.
Yeah, you poke your hand as the others are moving. You can also feel their bodies move and shift, and yeah, a little bit of blood does come out of your hand, even though it freezes immediately.
Is it like clean?
Make an
Like, is there any sort of infection?
investigation check.
Jeez.
Or medicine. No, this would be a medicine. Okay, well, it's probably same modifier.
Oh,
Was-
there you go.
Oh,
Medicine.
okay. Natural 20.
Ones and 20s.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with your blood. Kind of look at it. You checked each other for demonic blight, and there was nothing. You were certain that there was no demonic blight on any of you. Now looking at your blood, as you kind of look a bit closer, it seems to be a bit more dense. So it isn't flowing out as fast as it usually. It's very minor and you can barely see it. But what's more surprising is as you look around the little cut you made inside of your finger, the edges, which would usually become, you know, darkened, a bit red from the blood that is coming out of there. See, the edges are very slimly white. And as you look inside of your blood, you can see almost like little snowflakes inside of a blood-red snow globe floating around inside of there. And it is very strange.
So I joked earlier about snowmen. I start to say out loud to everybody. That may have been a bad joke. And I'll kind of just show everybody this little like bead of blood I have. I think we have a problem.
Because you rolled in the snow. That's what happened. It's because you rolled in the snow.
I've rolled in the snow a lot. I don't think this has happened because of that before.
Did you roll in snow that was affected by demon blight?
Which I said don't touch. So did you touch it? Did you roll in it?
I got my arrows back. But the snowman I made was definitely not blighted, I think. Maybe it was.
Because it was
You
kinda
got your
seeping.
arrows back, which were arrows that touched demons.
Well, I've cleansed them before. This isn't my first, reuse of arrows.
As you're kind of discussing it and you're talking around with a natural 20, you will also notice something different. It isn't as cold anymore. Kind of weird. You look at your skin, seems a bit more paler than it was before. Which is a bit odd. Usually if it's warmer it should, become brighter. And as you're saying this, you kind of, look at Kingpin, he looks the same. He's a metal body. But you look at Scion, and you can also notice distinctively that her skin has also started to pale a bit. And she has kind of like bags under her eyes suddenly, as if she hasn't slept for like 7 days straight. But she seems fine.
Well,
Okay.
looks like you got it too.
Just don't like the cold.
I'm gonna get up and go outside the tunnel and see if anything's different.
Sure, I can make a perception check.
Well. Oh, hey.
18, dang. Yeah, you look out, it's at first glance everything.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Discord.
Zion
disappears.
just poof.
Misty steps out of here because she doesn't like the cold. yeah, you look out and everything seems normal. Everything is white, boringly white, as it was before. Look at your igloo, doesn't seem to be disturbed in any way. One thing you do notice is the wind has kind of let down a bit, and the storm isn't raging as much as it was when you first came here. Now, normally that wouldn't be so odd because weather changes. However, this weather usually doesn't change. So it is odd that the normal, ever blaring storm has now suddenly decided to cool down a bit. And as you're doing that and you're looking around, you know, you're trying to look back for, you know, the footprints, but you aren't able to see them anymore. It seems like they've kind of disappeared a bit until you notice, oh, no, they haven't disappeared. Something else has happened. It is the entire surface is now glossed over, making it impossible to find where the footprints are, since now everything has this light shimmer. As you kind of look back to your igloo too is covered with this thing, with this slight shimmer. As you notice that you are standing in the middle of it. Probably the reason why the wind isn't as strong is because this effect now of where the surface doesn't get changed has now multiplied to an extent where it's actually affecting the environment a bit.
That is a whole lot of blight.
Well, what do? We just keep walking and continue, you know.
And learn what? I think we have a pretty good report to get back to HQ here. Blight is spreading at an alarming rate.
We need to get out here as soon as possible, or we're going to become one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you decide to head back. Is that correct?
Do we want to check a big snowball on the way out? On those ice balls? Or do we not have time? They're in the way. We really should.
At least go see if they're still there at this point.
Doesn't hurt to see if they're at least still there.
Yeah, let's go poke them.
Okay. You can make one of yours to make a survival check just to make sure you keep en route, and others can make perception check to see if you can still find those ice boulders.
I'll do perception. That's what I'm looking for.
Sheesh. Wow. Yeah,
Nope, nope, we're headed west. West, kick me. What? Not? Nope.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just keep turning him.
Zion
He's
keeps.
good at killing things. He's good at killing things, not so much keeping us on track.
Yeah, he's probably responsible for, you know, shoving the snow out of the way so he isn't focused on where it's going. But allowing you both to do your work precisely. Wandering now back the way you came, and you are now deep in the snow that is with this glossy thing, and the first thing you notice is you are able to break it. It seems like it's, while this their nature of trying to prevent or them changing gets disturbed when you come close. So if you tread through them, it does break through, and it seems like the area dissipates, which is now a weird, ironic, twisted phase, because now the entire snow region is kind of unchanged, and the only footpath that is now being made is by your footprints. While when you came here, the only footprints that were there were those that weren't changed. So it's kind of a negative or a reverse of what happened when you first came here. And as you're going back, one thing you see now a bit clearly as you're now moving more, Sheraz, as you see and look into the sky, the wind has, you know, somewhat let down a bit, and the storm itself is kind of diminished. And you can see what's almost looks like a pathway inside of the clouds and storms itself, as if it's something like almost large went through here and then kind of on its way like dissipated all the clouds and kind of teared them apart. Quite a large area actually. And the only reason you can actually notice this because usually you didn't have much visual distance that you could rely on. Now you can see much further because the density of the storm has let down quite a bit. So instead of, you know, seeing a few feet in front of you, maximum of 60 feet, you can now see hundreds of feet from side to side, and you can see that this big opening gap was made. And that's kind of also the space where everything has been blighted, or whatever this weird glossy stuff is. So the whole trail is basically like that. And it's so weird because now you can actually see a bit of sunlight shining through this area that has been, you know, opened up by whatever this is. And while you're doing that, show us you keep on track, and after a while, maybe like 8 hours or so of traveling, you do get back to the point at the beginning where you've seen those boulders, and they still seem to be there. Their trail has been kind of diminished, probably from the storm as you were passing through, as kind of, you know, made the trail disappear a bit. But they're still a bit visible as, you know, that kind of white glossy stuff has came early enough to kind of put it in stasis. So you can still see the remnants of this trail, but the boulder is still there.
Who wants to go hit it? Take a peek inside.
I'm not touching it.
Okay. Go ahead, Kingpin. I'll just get my bow and get ready.
Well, let us. Do I want to do it with that?
Yeah. I will say I'm like 20 feet behind him. My goal is to look inside after he like creates like a dent or something.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I'll just smack at it with the greatsword.
Okay. Yeah, no, I won't make you make an attack roll because you have a ton of time and you can just smack this ice block. You smack it hard and you crack it open. You're a big beefy guy. You have, you know, a great sword that is also empowered by, you know, frost and your divine energy. And you break off a large part of it, and as you hit it, it crumbles into ice blocks, multiple ice blocks. What you would expect from hitting a big ice boulder. And as it kind of splits open and maybe hit once or twice, open up enough so you can see kind of the middle portion of it, and this just seems like a normal ice block.
That didn't answer anything.
You know, it doesn't hurt to try. Like, we didn't know.
I don't disagree.
It's really weird. Like, did somebody roll it down here? Is it a weather thing? Yeah, I guess I don't know. Like, that's up for the big heads at work. Or, yeah, work at HQ.
Well, you can give me... I give you the benefit of the double check since you are a ranger. You can give me a nature check.
Sure. I'll yeah. I'll take a piece and just give us normal ice.
Yeah, 24. No, so this isn't normal ice. Well, depends how you look at it. This is ice from the Great Glacier Wall. Meaning this was a part of the wall that has somehow fallen down and came here.
Which is not a normal thing.
No, the ice of the Great Glacier is friggin' hard. You build castles on that shit. That's not something that breaks naturally. Something had to have had to do something up there in order for it to have broken and fallen down here. And it's quite a bit far away from the wall, so either it fell like a long distance, or it flew even. It's hard to tell.
I was just about to say, anything that's up there might be throwing these. Then again, if it was being thrown,
Where are they trying to hit?
it should have broken, you would think, if it was being thrown too.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, scored weird.
I think Felicia's frozen again.
Yep.
Goddamn. We all made it out, except Felicia.
I'm still trying to figure out if this is in the past or the future.
Yeah.
Or now. It's the current times.
Oh no. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh man.
She written something. Ah, okay.
Her whole computer froze.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
It's spreading.
It's literally demon blight has infected a
Yeah.
virus has infected her computer. Now I can definitely understand why she wants to get a new one.
We have a camera in Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Man.
boys.
So thinking like, okay, if Kai and the gang were still alive, I would have 1000% would have brought us to Heems. So would we have had to deal with this weird ice blight that's spreading super fast and messing with the storm and people going missing? Well,
It will. I mean, if we know that it spreads faster and cold, is
yep.
it might be safe to assume that this could be like far earlier, and this is like the beginning of things. Like,
I mean, who would have heard about it? Would they have said, "Hey, we have a blight problem"? Us of
oh,
the holy lichness.
Ah,
I don't
she's
know.
back.
Sorry, Discord decided to crash as well as my turn.
Oh, the reset was quite quick for that.
for a computer that likes to act up, that was a pretty good reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm surprised it was.
You?
Your mic's not working.
Yeah, you're a bit quieter. I think your headphones are. Oh, you were just up. Okay. Hardware, not software. Yeah, how would you like to continue?
Yeah, so we have two problems that we need to report back immediately. The wall is coming down and light is spreading at an alarming rate. All really, really, really bad.
More than a little bad. We're gonna die if we don't get help, especially if we're infected with blight, so we should probably get on our way.
I could try to cure us. I'm just... Yeah, let's wait till tonight. Or at least till we get closer.
Yeah, if you kind of march on, since you did manage to trip in one day, you will probably be able to get back to base if you just continue walking on.
Yeah, we'll head back at like fast pace. You know.
Okay.
Not try to hide for anything. We just want to get back.
Yeah, you continue going a bit faster, so obviously it's a bit more physically straining. After a while where you feel like, okay, you are about to reach back to base, you know, you're getting a bit tired, you can feel your knees becoming a bit weak, your arms too getting sluggish, heavy, but it's a bit unnatural almost. It's something is really straining you. It's getting physical to a point even where sometimes, and even you, Kingpin, you are a Warforged, so you don't usually get much physical setbacks. But sometimes while you're running and you're trying to get back, you kind of just miss a step where it's almost like you hesitate to take a step, where you just kind of, you know, skip a step and you stay longer on one foot than you usually would. And after a while, you become extremely aware of your breathing, and it almost occupies your mind the whole time as you're kind of breathing in and out. You notice your breath, you can see the fog coming out. You become aware of where your hands are, and that suddenly becomes awkward. They're a bit cold, they're shivering a bit, but not as cold as they're supposed to be. And even more effects start to just kind of muddle your mind, almost like it's trying to distract you from something. You can hear every time you swallow. It's a bit nerve-wracking, and your heart is pounding so much that you can hear every single beat that it is making. And you don't know why, but your whole body is kind of just getting into a stage of alert, basically. And you know this very well, Zion, because obviously you have a weapon that kind of always alarms you of stuff that happens around you. And it's almost a similar sense, just this has been kind of building up for a while you're traveling. And it's hard to distinguish whether it's just normal physical fatigue from trying to rush back, or if it's something else. Where at some point you start to even hear something, almost like a tinnitus. But it's almost soothing, which makes it even weirder. You just hear this very ominous light lullaby, kind of ever-presently and ominously weaving through the storm and making its way into your ears. And you can feel its presence coming from right in front of you in the direction you would like to go.
Can anybody see, like, invisible things? Like, can you do that thing again where you, like, scan?
Yeah, I mean, definitely could do that again.
Yeah, let's take 5. Take a look around here.
I'll throw out another Divine Sense radar sweep.
Yeah, you make a radar sweep. Nothing appears.
Sorry, buddy. I really thought that something would pop up. I get the feeling that we're walking into something bad. And I'm usually never wrong about these things.
Well, how about I try to make us feel a little bit better at least? This works with regular light usually. How about I try with you first, Cyan? And I'll just reach for your hand and try to do lesser restoration on her.
Yeah, so you kind of extend your arm out. Zion, Sheraz, and Kimpen, you all notice that your hand is shivering, Sheraz, and not in the sense that it's cold or different, but you're kind of just shaking a bit as you reach out. You cast a spell, it works, fine. Lesser restoration comes over you. For a brief moment, you feel relieved, Zion, but as soon as the spell dissipates, this same sense comes back. You can feel your throat getting drier, your eyes a bit itchy, your hands don't really know where to go, and your mind is kinda at a loss.
We need to hurry back. I felt like a moment of feeling better, and then it just dissipated, and now it feels worse. We need to get going.
One thing first. I guess because I said it. I'll take out my diary and just speed. Well, I guess while I'm shaking, I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm gonna try to write. Magic isn't fixing it. We're all being turned by something beyond blight. And I'll shut the book. and give it to Kingpin. Just keep this on you.
Put it inside like a panel.
Okay, yeah, you put it inside. And you keep it close to you.
All right, let's go. Let's try to run faster. So I don't know. Yeah, we have to go.
Okay, you continue walking, and you can now see that the storm is letting looser more and more. Now, obviously, you're coming out of the main storm from Helanda, but still even lighter than the normal storm that wages in your area. So something is definitely also affecting your place, and not only the place you were just at. As you continue to go, once again, your steps are heavy, and for every step you make, you have to put your will inside of it to take that step, because your body is trying to almost say no, and you're forcing yourself to move. It's like going closer to the edge of a cliff. Something, just a natural instinct is telling you that it's a bad idea. And the closer you get, the more risky it gets, and there's the potential that you might just take one step that is a bit too long and you will fall over the edge. To get to a point where I need all of you to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma. I remember that
Plus,
one.
plus three.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Kingpin, which makes the most sense. And Zion.
So it'd be a 19 with the +3.
Yes. You suddenly, and really it's like as if you've taken the step over the cliff that your body didn't want it you to. Especially for you, Sheras, you kind of almost in a perpetual motion feel like you are drifting infinitely away, but you're still there. And this moment almost lasts forever as your vision goes completely white. Almost as if you're blinded by the snow and the light itself, as it's unusually bright now because the clouds have dissipated so much. And you cannot move. You are literally paralyzed inside of your step, and the other two of you notice that they suddenly just become still, but you also feel like a sudden tug as something, and you don't know what this feeling is. You've never felt this before. Something is in front of you. You don't know how far, don't know where. You only know the vague directions in front of you, like the edge of the cliff. One of you took a step too far, two of you survived it. And there is the instinctive urge to not look in that direction, almost as if a predator has their eyes keenly set on you, and if you look in that direction, it would be a bad mistake. What would you like to do?
Can I speak?
No, you're paralyzed. You're completely out of it.
What the hell?
So like, Kingpin's the only one that's like not affected by this?
No, you too.
Oh,
Zion,
okay.
you're also not affected. You can still move and do everything. By the way, I almost forgot this. Your hit points maximum are reduced by 17. For those who succeeded, only half as much, which is 8.
Oh, ouch.
We're dying. Hit point max.
Um, oh man.
What?
Kingpin, what do we do?
I don't know.
I'm like turning my back so that I'm not accidentally looking at the wall or where I'm getting the urge to look.
It's the opposite, the urge not to look, you mean?
Yeah.
While we were moving, have we been leaving tracks?
Yes.
Okay. But like blight tracks, not normal tracks?
No, normal tracks. You've been leaving behind normal tracks.
We're not fully blighted yet. Can I try to go up to Shiras and like slap to like try to like bring you back?
Sure, if you'd like to do that.
Yeah. I'll go up and try to slap Shiras.
Okay, go to her. You slap her, and almost as if she's like a statue, you just almost like she doesn't move an inch, as you just kind of hit a almost like a stone surface.
Fuck.
Ow! As I kind of rub my hand.
I don't have anything stronger than cure wounds.
I don't have any healing.
Yeah, I think magic can fix this.
Let's see.
Okay, since I've given you a bit of time, both of you make another charisma savings throw.
Oh
no.
God, we're dying.
Do I have to make another one?
Yes, you have to make another one.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Showers, you kind of get your composure together and you breathe in. However, you all do take, once again, 6 for those who succeeded, which are Cyan and Sheras. And Kingpin, you take the full of 12. Something is kind of eating away at your life force. And Sheras, you get the same thing. Something is right in front of you. You also know your wall, your sort of fort is also right in front of you. So those things too collide.
Oh, and this is Kingpin. Oh my God. I can't drag him. I'll go get help. I just leave them both and I run toward my fear of the fort.
Okay, you go to the fort. Then how are you approaching it, I guess?
Ow.
Because usually you have to like send a signal to someone who's at the very top so they can bring the elevators down, since they are usually
Right.
stationed up.
Hang on, is what is happening to me a disease?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would still think of protocol and I guess light that torch or light whatever we're given to do that signal, and I'd light it while like running toward the elevator. That would, that's the spot it would go to.
Yeah, so you're probably also looking out if one of you guys is...
Yeah, if anybody's down there, I'm trying to get the attention of anyone there.
Okay, then make a perception check.
Ooh, it was almost good.
13. You run there. And as you get closer, you still, maybe like a mile away from the wall, but, the wall's freaking huge, so you can even see it from a mile away. And, what you notice is hold on, my Roll20 is freaking out for some reason. Holy shit. Wait, I have to restart it real quick because the sound was not working. This is obviously for dramatic tension, so this was all planned, obviously. What you see is, you know, is a white wall, which is whiter than it usually is. It's... What the fuck is it doing again? No, it stopped again. Oh my god, I hate it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now it's working again. It's whiter than it usually is. It's reflective, and that worries you. Something has also affected your wall. Oh my god, it stopped again. Do you still hear it? The sound effects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for me it just stops. Okay. You see, and you look up, and you can see one part of the wall that is usually invisible because the density of the snow once again would just block it. But now, because it's free, you're able to see it with your normal eyes. You can see a part that connects to the glacial wall. It's kind of broken up, and there are parts of the wall that have crumbled down and detached from the glacial wall. And there's a very strong concentration of like some sort of white cloud or something of it. And that's usually one of the positions where one of your main contacts is to contact them to call down. And as you do that, you see something. Something that is not easily described, coming out of this white cloud. And I find it so funny that it's Matt again who sees something that the others don't. But I will share it with you, and you're the only one who will see this.
Oh god.
Matt, you need to stop doing that.
So it is
You need to see all
now
the cool stuff.
inside of your journal. So if you go to your journal under encounters,
One shot. Or no, encounters.
there should be a thing called mysterious thing. And while you
One of
do
these days, I
that,
really want to know what that angel looks like.
make a...
Oh, there it is. I see it.
You can at the same time do another charisma saving throw.
Oh my god.
All of us?
I will also show it to the people. No, only show us.
This is ridiculous.
You make a...
Wow, okay.
That is a fail.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh no, it was a
Of
normal one.
course.
You have to make a save. That was a normal check.
Oh, well. I think that's why I've been clicking the entire time. Whoops.
Okay,
50.
unfortunately that is
Sure.
not good enough. And unfortunately also I'm not able to show the picture to the viewers, because then they just have to fucking imagine it. Because
I can't even describe it. Again.
yeah, because as you see it, there's only one thing you do. All your protocols that you've been trained to do goes outside of the window as you 180 turn and just run. And just run. There's nothing else on your mind as you're just running away from this as far as possible and as far as you can. As a suit, you see Shara's kind of running towards you, but she has a facial expression that you have never seen a normal person do before. You have seen fear, you have seen terror, you have seen horror before, but this is something else, as she just runs past you as if you weren't even there and just continues sprinting until she's out of view and kind of leaves you two behind. What do you two
And
do?
Kingpin's still like unconscious.
Oh yeah, you
in
both have
his-
to make a charisma saving throw again.
Can you just kill us already?
$19 and $17. Both are good enough. You both are still fine. You do lose, once again, some of your life force that's being drained away. 11, but only half, so 5 as much. So you're kind of having your willpower to have your life force not get completely sucked, but you've just seen your friend, who's quite brave, just dash away.
So I just look at Kingpin and I go, I don't know what happened, but our comrade just took off running with this look on his face of absolute terror beyond terror. I'm not sticking around, and I activate Blade Song and I just start booking it. So for the next minute, my speed increases by 10, so it's at 40.
Okay. You start running. Kingpin, what do you do?
I'm gonna stay where I am, and look at them running, and I'm gonna slowly turn back in the direction I shouldn't be and look.
Okay, make a perception check. 15. Once again, you see the area is clearer than it's supposed to be. You see your wall, usually a sign of protection and safety, where all the friends you've ever made were. And at the edge you see a white cloud and a strange thing hovering out of it. And I shall also show you what this thing is.
I'm so scared right now.
Yeah, that was a bad choice.
I will put it on OBS so my viewers will also be able to see, because
Man, now I feel like I should look.
you can go to your journal quick and then look at.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yes. And you also have to make another charisma saving throw.
Oh my god.
A 20. You don't get the immediate instinct to run away, and you are able to just stand there and kind of look at this thing. Now, as you are looking at this thing, there's something almost mesmerizing about it. Almost something beautiful, and all my people can also see it. As you're looking at it, it's like the opposite. Something inside of you now isn't able to look away, as it slowly turns its head towards you. Slowly but surely, and you can see this empty mask. Now, there's one thing that people say about demons. It's that you can measure its strength usually by the number of horns it has. So depending how many horns it has, that's how strong a demon is. And once you kind of get this realization inside of your head, you vanish. And you disappear. And that's where we're gonna end today's session.
Even
Had
on
to
one
look at
shots,
it.
you leave us with just this cliffhanger. Oh my gosh.
You went back. And that is what you find. Okay. Well, that was nice, wasn't it? Nice comfortable one shot.
Ooh, past or current time is my guess. Probably, I think it's happening right now.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Greg is broken.
Yeah,
Dude.
he has disappeared.
Kingpin is
Feel like
unfortunately gone.
I should have looked because now
No.
I'm all like,
Your character might live out of us three. Probably not.
By the way, the
probably
mechanic that works for you, Sheras, is you will run so long until you take 1 point of exhaustion, and then you can repeat the saving throw again. If you fail, you will continue running, and if you fail all the time, you will continue running until you die. If you don't succeed on the saving throw, that's how terrified you are.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably gonna be a long run at +0 or +1.
Yeah.
So my max health was reducing when you were doing that?
Yes.
Oh man, I went from 82 to 63.
We're turning into demons.
Oh man.
Ooh,
I can't
got-
stop looking at this thing.
That's the point.
Yes. Yes.
Heem's is done.
Heems is
Bye.
fucked. Yeah.
God. Like, are they
Oh,
coming
how-
out? Think if they're coming out of the glacier and there's more of them. That's my thought. They're coming out of the glacier. That's why it's breaking apart. Maybe that glacier was created by that, one of the old, what were they? Devils. The ice devil.
The Dominators. You mean?
Is Dominate?
Yes.
I was
Great.
thinking that.
Greg literally looks like his character right before he vanished.
Yeah, but yeah. What? Ice Devil, Dominators, many names.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like maybe it just froze all these demons and now they're becoming unfroze. That would be so bad.
That's that would be a very subtle political statement about global warming.
Yep.
As that was the case, so I won't confirm or deny. We'll see if the main party will ever get to learn whether this has happened, or maybe in the
Oh.
future they will discover it, or maybe in the present they will experience it. That we will have to wait and see. But I usually like to have my one-shots be, like just kind of brain teasers, just kind of itching a different, or creating a different scratch that, kind of makes you think a bit.
Well, they can also help you with storylines for later. You're like in a campaign and you can stumble upon our decrepit bodies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jeez.
That, for example.
Good chance.
Yeah, I love one-shots because I can like kind of have a full-rounded storyline. Like this wasn't like an end or anything, but it had a reveal that kind of gives you enough information to have like the own things. Like you can make up own things. Like the main campaign, it takes a while till you get the meat and potatoes of the stuff. With a one-shot, I can kind of wrap it up a bit more tightly. And plus, I winged this in an hour, so
Yeah,
excellent.
except you
Yeah.
probably put like 12 hours of prep into this at one point.
Yeah. Especially with the art.
Yeah. Obviously, if I would have come up with that Ender art in 1 hour, dang, I'd be crazy. Holy shit.
Good for you, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
How big was this thing?
Oh, you got no idea, boy. You have no
I'm guessing it
idea.
was really big. Like bigger than large, whatever that is. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it's like gargantuan, but
It's something that your brain at the moment just couldn't comprehend. So things like size, relativity, and stuff like that just weren't registering. You just saw that, and either you decide to run or you disappear. Yeah. Well, with starstruck players, especially Greg, who is still
I'm
fathomed.
so intrigued. I'm so intrigued.
It's sad that like I'm like butthurt that I'm like the only one that's not gonna see this thing.
I
But
mean,
at the same
okay.
time, I'm like kind of relieved because you guys are making it sound like it's gonna give me nightmares.
I mean, it definitely will. Yeah.
I do wish, like, if one of you would attempt to describe what the thing looks like, because it is.
Oh, I don't even know where I'd begin.
The viewers get to see it.
Yeah, the viewers, I did in the end able to put it on. Well, okay, Matt, you are the one who has at least a what's it called, comparison. Would you say this is easier to describe or the angel?
I would say they are both at high levels of difficulty to describe. They're about equal.
Okay.
The angel might be a little bit easier because of its clothes.
Hmm.
That big cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's.
think I do see something similar though. You know, the thing in its hands. I think that was in the angel picture.
I think you still have the angel picture, right? Don't you?
I may have saved it in my notes, so
Ah, yeah.
I don't think I have it on Roll20 though.
Oh yeah. I took it out. I remember. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you would like to wish to explain to Felicia, I bet the viewers are also very curious to see how anyone would try and attempt to describe, or Greg maybe because you're the most starstruck to maybe get you out of it.
Okay. So take the skeleton of a praying mantis with angel wings on its back. Uh,
Now the image I had like an abominable snowman thing going on in my head,
No.
and now I have like
Mm-mm.
the most ridiculous image of a praying mantis skeleton with angel wings, and I'm amused. Oh man,
There's so much more. That's like 5% of this picture.
God, Greg is broken.
I'm so. I don't.
Can't stop staring at it.
That red blob does remind me of the previous picture. I don't know if it's the same, but no, because the one in the angel picture would have been 100 times bigger. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You know.
The angel was the size of a mountain. Yes.
Yes.
Like, how big is that ball?
Oh, that's a thing to say out of context.
Yeah.
How big is that ball?
Like, could you imagine if that was like a city-sized ball, and they can just go around and throw it at shit?
Okay, I think
Sure.
we need someone at least to try and explain it, because I forgot maybe podcast viewers will be here, and I think they'd be intrigued to.
I mean, it was a good start.
Yeah,
Like,
it was actually.
Praying
man,
mantis skeleton
Yeah.
with angel wings. The tips of the angel wings are dipped in blood.
Mm-hmm. It also looks like there was a second pair of angel rings that were ripped out, and now there's only like the bloody appendages of it on top. It has like a bone mask with like multiple white spikes. It's also like a skirt that's probably bones that kind of like creates this weird skirt.
And
then
then,
just
not to mention the arms with hands
Yeah.
coming out of the bottom of this thing. There's just really long, lanky arms with odd, lanky fingers.
Jack, do you draw these yourself, or do you have like an AI make them for you?
No, I make them myself.
An AI
I
can do
even
this.
can't
That'd
even-
be wicked.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Holy shit. Then I'm legitimately worried that my job is being stolen from me because I'm putting my money on that they aren't able to come up with some crazy shit like this. By the way, you guys are the first ones to see this thing. So congrats.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're the first ones. So this was a grand reveal. And Felicia now just has to live with the pain. Well, you can't technically look the episode back, so it's good that we recorded it.
I'm totally gonna go look at the episode so I can see what this thing is.
Well, then wait till this honey. Okay, now I don't think we have to keep our viewers here any longer. I think that is good enough. Once again, thanks for watching. If anyone stayed so long to here, and hopefully we will be back with the normal session next week. Fingers crossed that nothing wrong is going to happen. And yeah, we're gonna sign out now. So bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone's gonna wave. Otherwise I won't stop.
Ha, 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 ha.